As many as 50 million Americans sometimes go hungry because they have no food to eat. And this is in a country where we produce much more food than we need, and about half the food we produce is never eaten. We throw out so much food that we've filled dumpsters with good food. We cover the landscape with food we've thrown away. And recent estimates are that about 20 billion pounds of good food is left in the fields every year and not sent along to feed people. Some of that food is just not purchased from the farm. Some of it is not worth picking for the price it will bring. Some of it is nutritious but not pretty enough for supermarket shoppers. The Society of St. Andrew has found ways to make new connections in the food chain. Food that is not sold to supermarkets and restaurants can still find its way to feed the hungry. We glean fields. Farmers with extra crops contact a Society of St. Andrew gleaning coordinator, who then contacts his or her volunteers. They go into a farmer's field to collect the remaining ripe and ready food. Usually that same day they deliver the potatoes, corn, apples, tomatoes, cucumbers, or whatever the crop is that day, to food pantries, food banks, and other agencies that feed the hungry in the area. We bag up loads of food. Farmers and packing houses donate entire truckloads of fresh produce to Society of St. Andrew for distribution. Whether the load is string beans, potatoes, apples, or some other crop, the truck is usually delivered to a parking lot where volunteers gather to divide the entire truckload into 5 to 10 pound bags for easy distribution by regional feeding agencies to individuals and families in need. Volunteer groups from churches, schools, civic groups, or other affiliations gather to bag the produce and load it all into agency trucks, trailers, and vans that arrive to pick up bags by the hundreds for distribution. The entire process, from truck arrival to parking lot cleanup, happens in a morning. Harvest of Hope is the retreat, education, and experience program Society of St. Andrew provides for both youth and intergenerational groups every year. At various camping and school locations, weekend and week-long retreats engage participants in gleaning crops in the fields, working at a food pantry or feeding agency, and learning more about ways hunger issues can be addressed in their everyday living and in their faith life. You can be a part of this new food chain that prevents food waste, reduces environmental damage, and feeds some of the most in need people in America. You can volunteer to glean in the fields. You can participate in a Harvest of Hope event. And you can donate to Society of St. Andrew to help the food make that vital trip from the field to dinner plates that might otherwise remain empty and unused. To learn more about this feeding ministry and the part you can play, visit our website at endhunger.org.